And welcome along and welcome back to Purbeck Valley. The sunflowers are ready to harvest, so we're now getting our combine out and ready to go. So what we're going to be doing is getting the header on here, and somebody told me after I used this last time that I was using this header trailer wrong, and yes, completely wrong, because I should be doing this with the header whenever I use it, because it angles it down so well to get it on and off the combine. So I'm a little bit miffed with that I hadn't thought of that before and hadn't tried to do that before. But this should mean that this sunflower header now very easily goes on the front of the combine, presents it nicely to it. We can connect it up and we can back it off like so, and yeah, that just makes all the difference. Hook all of that up, and then we'll get the header trailer and the tractor out the way. But I'm really pleased with that. That just works amazingly well, and if you know what you're doing, then it makes sense. It really does. We're just going to stick this in the shed here. We're not going to be using any of this for today, and we get this out of the way. Our Vulture is already hooked up to the trailer, so that's all good. We'll stick this just outside so I can get out of the tractor. And yeah, we're going to take the combine around and start getting this going. Amazingly, we still have money in the bank, which is great. Absolutely enthused by that. Will our header fit through this gateway? Oh, that's going to be tight. That's going to be very tight, but it's through. And this is why we have this size combine here. We'll get the combine itself unfolded, and yeah, we're probably going to do this ourselves. The actual yield on sunflowers isn't massive, and this should cut through these quite quickly. Drop the header down, and yeah, I do like these sunflower headers. They work so well, and you just absolutely zoom through the sunflowers. And if we are leasing, it makes so much sense just to lease this header and get the job done in a really good amount of time. No apparent drop in yield from last year's sorghum, which is really good. I'm very pleased that we've managed to keep up our quality level as far as that goes. Means that we're on par to get a really nice amount of sunflowers off here this year. First year we did this, these were not fully done, not fully fertilized and the right amount of pH and everything like that. So this year, if we can get a full yield of these sunflowers, we're going to make more money than we did first year. So very, very pleased with this at the moment. And our combine, as usual, is just performing really, really well. I love this little New Holland TC5 70. It is a brilliant little combine, perfect size for what we're running here on this map. And yeah, it works so well with this header. We're up to 80% full as we come up to the end of the headlands, so looks like we're going to be able to empty fairly easily as well. That's really nice. Oh wow, look at that. That is 87% off the first headland. We're going to do 2 more headlands. It'll basically divide this field into 2 halves, which will work very well for us overall and allow us to work these fields pretty well. Want to get the auger out. I don't know if we'll make it around to the other entrance to the field. Although, having said that, the other entrance to the field is blocked by our front loader anyway. We'll stop here. Let's go get the other tractor. Ideally, I want to get through both these fields today, and we'll see how we do on that. We should be able to. I think we've got time. Pull this up alongside. This little harvest trailer has been so useful for this. I think it's our littered trailer in the game, but it's yeah, I think in real life these are harvest trailers, and I have seen them used here in the UK. Maybe not for this job, but for us it's been a cracking little trailer, this orange trailer. So much so I've passed up a couple of traditional grain trailers just because they are about the same size and do about the same job as this one does. Second headland seems to be going as well as the first. This end of the field is such a high yielding area. I mean, it's ridiculously high. 30, nearly 40 tons an hour, 4.5 tons a hectare. That is a really good amount of here, especially for sunflowers, which are a much smaller seed. So as a result, you're getting a lot more literage for your harvest, and the yield is quite big. Well, it's taking a lot more literage to get the same sort of yield. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. These sunflowers are coming out very nicely, and we are on the verge of being self-sufficient on this farm, of not having to take contracts. In fact, we haven't had to take a contract this year. It's always a good indication to me of how well my farm's doing by how many contracts I have to take, how much I have to top up my money. And at the moment, we are in a really strong position on this farm. We have not taken a contract this year. We are now in a place where our cows and our solar panels and our crops are covering our costs. Yes, we do dip into the negative every so often, but we are still able to recover from that fairly quickly without having to take any kind of outside help as we have had to in previous years. Yeah, this is our third headland. This is the one that will effectively divide the field, and what we'll do is we'll then work on one end of the field and then come back and work on the other. We are reaching a full combine again, so we need to come and empty that, but yeah, this is all very positive. We do have rain on the way, unfortunately, so I don't know when that's going to start falling. I'm kind of hoping it's after we've harvested these fields. Combine is just about full. It stopped at the end here, so it makes a lot of sense to empty at the end of the headland row. Jump out and just empty that out. Quite a bit into the back of the trailer as we haven't really put much down there. Then just sort of even it out a bit. We'll stop the actual combine running. There's no need to be running the other bits and pieces. This will give us about an 80% full trailer. So I need to probably go and tip, but I am concerned about that rain. Hopefully, oh, that's fine. It's a short shower around midday. It might break up our fields getting worked, but as it stands at the moment, we still have plenty of time before any potential shower passes through, and it does look like it's going to be a shower. Now, can I squeeze through here? Yes, I can. Oh, there's plenty of space. I don't know what I was worried about. Now, this year I'm going to put this in the middle shed because we've had bleed into the side barn before, and I'd rather it bled sort of either side of this. We are still only doing a single crop a year, so we don't need the full 3 bays at the moment. I'll just back this into here. We'll put this as... Well, I don't want to put it right up to the back wall for the same reason. So we're going to try and place it in the middle of this storage bay. Like this, and then tip it. And yeah, there is a good place, and I'm going to get back to harvesting. And this is the point that pretty much divides this field If we went round for a fourth headland, it would completely divide them. So my plan here is going to be to stick on this angle. It's 72 degrees, and we'll do a cut in and work our way across the field with that. And then that should give us, if we're lucky, the outer edge going along that edge there and cutting back to the other side of the field. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, but I think that would be the best way to go. Although, actually, we do need to finish off this headland. I forgot we are on this line here, but we do have a headland to finish. I'm missing out a small section there, but I'm going to go all the way back. We'll just cut around the top here, give ourselves plenty of space to turn around and see where we are. Yeah, we are, again, 35% full from here. So that shouldn't be a problem as far as getting ourselves back to filling up. We're way off that. But it is already a very nice amount of sunflowers off here. 6th row cut in approximately. It's not completely square, but then we're baiting it on a side of the field around the end there. Should work out fairly well. I'm quietly confident with my cut in here that we've got about 2 rows on the other side. It should even things up, and then we just need to make sure we go down the middle when we come to the last section. But this just keeps things nice and tidy and nice and easy to work. I think the bit of the field that's a little bit more trouble is when we get back down the other end, and that doesn't quite fit it as neatly as this end does. I'm really happy with that final line of that cut. There's a little kick out at the end, and we can deal with that. But that was pretty spot on. Very, very happy with that. Just got this little area inside here. Got a great demand at Mole Valley, and if that's for milk or for sunflowers, that's going to throw a real spanner in the works. It is not for milk, which somehow we've managed to get up to 14,000 litres for. We got nearly 2 full sets there. Is it for sunflowers, though? It is not for sunflowers. So, yeah, we don't need to worry about either of those. That is not going to be worth it. Even if so, to be honest, mostly these days, the great demands aren't worth more than we get with our best prices. So it doesn't really make it worth running around trying to capture them. So we're going to cut in again, and we want to try and get down the middle of this odd shape here. I think we want to be about here-ish. There we go. And we want 72 degrees cut in. Yep, that's going to give us a very thin area to the right, but should work out really well for us to go down the other side. We are 91% full though. This is going to be close, but we've got away with it. Yeah, we need to get this emptied. We've got 97% full. We'll cut in a little bit, and then we'll go grab the tractor and trailer and get this emptied. Looks like we're going to get at least, 2 full trailers off here. This header can be quite difficult to tell when you've actually got it lowered or not. 98, 99. Right, let's get the tractor and trailer. This is such an awkwardly shaped field. Trying to work out how to farm it is really challenging. After 3 years, after 3 harvests, we pretty much got it, I think. I've kind of worked out how to plant it. I've worked out how to harvest it. It seems to be working pretty well for me, to be honest. Now I'm expecting us to come out around about here and leave almost exactly the bit to go down there, and the two parts of the field are still connected. That is absolutely wonderful. I can't believe how well that's worked. Just sort of all fallen into place. We'll come down the middle here, although I'm going to have to go out a little bit, otherwise we'll hit the tractor. But yeah, we'll now just cut down and we'll end up going down the other side of the field. I will just kick out a little bit here, see if we can pick out these two stray sunflowers. Always worth picking up the strays if you can. If it's not, if it doesn't send you too far out of your way, that's exactly what you want to do. Go and pick up the strays, and then yeah, we'll line up on the right hand side here. That way we'll get the most sunflowers in the header as we get into the other side of the field. And there we go, straight across, nice long cut, two halves of the field connected, and we can just cut in now and get this end done. Although the angle at the top really does not lend itself to the 72-degree cutting we've been using across here. It does match the rest of the field, so bring it round and down, and we'll cut in and keep things going. I think we're likely to only get one more tank off here. Certainly we'll only have about 2 trailers full in total, which is not the end of the world. Neither of our arable fields are particularly large, and this one is the smaller of the two, so I was expecting a smaller amount of here. The yield has stayed strong across the field. Top end of the field has been a lot better yield than the bottom end, but that's to be expected, seeing as this end of the field is a lot worse soil. I think we're on, what are we on here? Sandy loam is the is what we're on here. So yeah, it's not great. It's not as bad as some soils could be, but it's not the loam, which is what we want. And look at that, that is very neat and tidy. We can just cut in for this final section here. Should be about 4 rows worth, I think. And I'm going to do it a slightly different angle. Not much different, but just enough to mean that we get everything in without too much trouble. Back it up. And yeah, we are at 65%, so it is not going to be a full combine off here. Finish this field off. So it's not even going to be a full second trailer. Still a good yield, still happy with the result here. We yeah, we'll get this dropped off. I'm not going to drop the header off combine. We should be able to get to the other field without dropping the header off. We're not going on the road very far, and it's quite a bit of faff. Do I have double gates though down the bottom here? I think I might have. Right, let's get this stray sunflower here. Turn everything off. Get the auger out. Lift up our header. This is the other thing about this trailer. We don't need a bigger trailer. Our fields aren't big enough and aren't far enough away from our farm to warrant a bigger trailer. Same's true with the combine. The combine does not have a massive capacity, and this trailer easily handles that. Let's empty this out. Yep, there it goes. And then we're going to try and get this through the gates where our grass field is. Take it out the back here. See where that leads us. I really would like to expand the farm out the other way. We just can't afford to do it, unfortunately. Getting the farm stable is really important. And look at that. Just as we finish, just as we're off the field, the rain starts to fall. Hopefully, our transition time will be the only time it's raining and we can get back to the harvest pretty quickly. Nice set of double gates at the end, so we should just squeak through those. I should say, before I go through, the grass has recovered really quickly. And I'm just wondering, looking at our environmental score, it's dropped. So our nitrogen level has dropped, but that's because of that field. Our weed control has not gone up yet. So, yeah, we need to... we're going to need to do this. But our overall score has dropped. And has it dropped on both fields? Can't see at the moment because it's not showing me. But, yeah, we might have had a score drop since last time rather than a score increase, which is not what I was going for with all of that grass work that we did last time. We'll see what happens when we get onto the other field, but yeah, maybe we've over fertilized the grass. So we can't start cutting this in the rain. What we'll have to do is get the gates open and get the combine off the road, and we'll go and tip our sunflowers into the store. But yeah, we're stopped for now until we can actually well, until everything dries out a bit. You can see already we're beginning to sink into the field a little bit. So the rain is falling and it's not being particularly kind. The shorter it is, though, the better it'll be. And it does give us time to sort of sort things out and get ourselves positioned for the second field, even if it's going to delay our start on that a little bit. The rain is beginning to let up and pass, and that means that we can head down to the other sunflower field and get started as soon as it stops. Thunder's just sort of rumbling through. Yeah, hour-long shower. Should not take very long for everything to dry up, really, and allow us to get back to work. Just sort of waiting for it to stop is the only thing. Park the tractor just over on the other side of the road. Towards the incoming traffic, that's where people should be able to see it. And I'm just trying to work out, can I put my... Yeah, there we go. Just park it here with the hazards on. Rain has stopped. Start up the engine on this then. Start this going. Down. And into the crop. I just want to check how deep the mud is. Not too bad. Certainly had it worse. That shouldn't stop us getting this harvested. Yeah, it's skidding a little bit, but otherwise we're all good. Coming around to the end of the first headland, and we've got a similar kind of amount of yield off here. We're at 75% full. So not quite as much, and I think it comes down to the really odd-shaped edges to the other field. It meanders in and out, and as a result has a much longer perimeter compared to this field, I think. Whereas this field has a lot more content, a lot more area inside it because it doesn't cut into itself. So as a result, yeah, we're not getting quite as much off the headland, but when it comes to actual contents of the main body of the field, I think we're going to end up with quite a lot more off this field. Combine is finally full, and it's made it about a quarter to a third of the way back round the field before it's ready to empty, which kind of sums up how things are going on this field. I am still happy. The yield is kept high. We got a decent amount of field to go yet. We could get as many as 3 trailerfuls off here if we're lucky. Yeah, very happy with how this whole thing is progressing, and that the rain in fact didn't stop us for very long. We managed to get back into the harvest pretty quickly. In fact, its timing couldn't have been better. While we're moving fields is pretty much all I could have hoped for. We've made it back round to our tractor and trailer, and we're 73% full. I don't think we're going to make it the whole way round this 3rd headland before we need to empty. And yeah, so we should end up with at most of a trailer full before we get out of here. In fact, what I will probably do is I won't go and tip the trailer as soon as we're full. We'll finish off the headland. We'll take everything out of the combine on the headland, and that will make it easier for the cut-in later on. Our trailer is only 43% full, so yeah, we're gonna have plenty of space when we get to the end of the headland to take the rest of it off. So we'll just empty this out now, continue round, and then empty out the rest. See whether we have anything left in the combine. And we only had about 20% left off that round, and it's all fit in the tractor and trailer. That is perfect. How full is it? 96%. So we'll go get this tipped, and then we'll come back and start cutting into the crop. So tip this out here, we'll leave this doing, and we'll go and get cut into the rest of the sunflowers. Already we've got about 30,000 litres of sunflowers here, I think. This field is much easier to cut in. It's got a very north-south setup. We're able to then stay with 0 on the compass, and means that everything also lines up, so it's very easy, especially with something like sunflowers, to have that straight line up and down the field, and to keep things very even as we go down. I love it when it all comes together like this, and we've got nice rows and everything fits between the ends of the header. Yeah, it's really, really good when things come together like this. And already we're at 21% after 2 rows. That is good. We should get at least another trailer off here. As I said, we might even get 3. But looking at this, I think that'll be a push. I think we're going to get 2 more trailers off this field. Well, our first cut-in gave us about 60% full. Our second cut-in should do more than that, because the field is getting longer and we are getting more in all the time. 70% full. Yeah, we're gonna want to empty fairly soon, so we'll have to go and grab the tractor and trailer and get them back down here. It's also 20 past 4 in the afternoon, so it looks like it's going to go on a little bit later, simply because we're going to need to in order to get all of this in. And I would like to get all of this in today. We do have a 2nd day of September that we could do it, but getting all this done today would make sense. And actually, we are going through this field fairly quickly. We'll be halfway through by the time we finish this cut-in, so it's not like we're moving slowly either. Full tank on the combine. We need to get it emptied, and yeah, if we're about halfway through the field, I think it's going to be just over a full trailer. Let's empty this out. Back up a little bit so we get it in the middle of the trailer. Over that front wheel of those 2 is normally the best way to go. Combine empty. And away we go again. Oh, we need to start the combine up. And away we go again. There we are. Right, let's see how long it takes us to get full again. Once again, we're on the next cut-in and we're 60% full. It's really interesting how everything's panning out in regards to that. Not a huge amount of field left, though. We should hit... Yeah, I think we're going to hit 80% on the next row. Possibly need to empty by the end. But we're now into the longest part of the field, which adds so much more of the loamy soil to it. And as a result, we're getting a much higher yield at this end, and the combine is filling up much quicker across half of each row. And you can see that by the fact that we've now gone over 80%, and we're going to need to empty probably before we get to the end of this row. Quite possibly we're going to be well into the 90s either way I look at it. And that is 93%, 94%. Oh, we will actually make it into the next row. That does surprise me a little bit. Round with our combine, down again, and yeah, we'll go a little way into here, get it to 99%. And then we'll bring the tractor and trailer in under the auger and get this emptied. This is good. This is gonna be our fourth trailer, our fourth 10,000 liters. So yeah, 40,000 liters. If we did get another trailer off here, we did get another 2 tanks off here, that is going to be 50,000 liters of sunflowers at best price for sunflowers. That's an incredible amount. That is about 65,000 would make off these 2 fields this year. That rain delay has really cost us quite a bit. We are coming up to 6:30 in the evening. We're again at 60% full, although we haven't started the next cutting yet. We've still got one more row to go of this one. And yeah, it's looking like we might get another tank off the combine, maybe a tank and a bit. But you can see already the light is fading fairly quickly. It is September, and that's to be expected at this time of year. But we're going to be working into dusk to try and get all of these sunflowers done. Yeah, it's no longer sunny for the sunflowers. Sun has set really quickly. We've only got about 3 or 4 rows to go, but it's pitch black out. And in fact, what's not helping that is the fact that we've got quite a bit of cloud cover at the moment. So that is just making everything that much darker. I don't know if this will do that full width there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows, and we've got 7. No, we've got 8 rows in here. So this might exactly fit on that last run. If it does, that's really good. One thing I know for certain is whatever is left on this field should all fit in the combine. That we're 25% full is very good from the rest of that row and that small row we just did. There's a little bit down the far end that needs cutting, and then we've got this row here, which I'm hoping is just gonna fit in my header. Oh, missed it at the side. It's a pretty much an exact fit. So something like just aligning myself slightly wrong coming into it means I miss a line like that, but everything seems to be going in. In fact, yeah, I think I've got perfect width. I just now need to stay on target and nicely lined up so that I don't miss anything like that small section there. That's not too bad though. I think that was an extra bit, and we can come back up that way and not have to move the tractor and trailer before we empty. Last little section here coming out of the darkness. Line myself up, make sure my header's down, and this might actually take me up to 50% full. that would be amazing. I think we're actually going to be a little bit shy of it, but that is good. That is very good. I'm trying to think exactly how much we've got today. I think we've definitely hit 50,000 liters. We may have hit 55. That would be amazing any way I look at it. We'll turn off the thresher and the header, and we'll come around here. We'll empty the rest of this, and yeah, that is what I would call a successful harvest. So now we're gonna have to plow these fields because they are fields that have had sunflowers in, so that will require plowing. But otherwise, oh yeah, we're gonna have to mulch this as well, probably put some other bits and pieces on too. But the harvest is done, and as the harvest is done, all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.